Picking the right person for your team, let's be honest, it's one of the most high-stakes decisions any leader can make. But the way we've always done it, the traditional interview, it's often a pretty flawed tool for such a critical job. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that is, and more importantly, how you can start to truly master the modern interview.
So let me just ask you something right off the bat. Are your interview techniques actually keeping up with today's job market, or are they kind of stuck in the past? And think about this for a second. Could the absolute best candidate for your team be slipping right through your fingers just because your process isn't really set up to spot their true potential? Are you really seeing the whole picture? And maybe the most important question of all, what about what's not being said? Beyond all the polished, rehearsed answers, can you read those subtle cues that tell you what a candidate is really thinking? Because that's where the gold is. Okay, let's dive right into the heart of the problem. For so many of us, the traditional interview just feels broken. The old rules, the old advice, a lot of it just doesn't apply anymore in this hiring landscape. It is absolutely time for a new approach. The old playbook was pretty simple, right? Ask some questions, get some answers. But that is such a one-dimensional view of a person. The modern landscape, well, it's holistic. It's about integrating smart strategy, new technology, and crucially, analyzing all those nonverbal signals that candidates are sending out. And that brings us to what is so often the most overlooked and honestly, the most powerful part of any interview, the unspoken clues. If you can master this, you get a huge edge in spotting incredible talent. It is so easy to focus on that perfect resume or a really well-rehearsed answer, but the real key, the thing that lets you truly understand a candidate, that lies in their nonverbal communication. How their posture shifts when you ask a tough question? That's not just a random movement, that's data. It's about learning to see the complete picture. We're talking about body language, those fleeting facial expressions, the way someone gestures with their hands. These signals aren't just random noise. They're valuable data points that give you incredible insights into a candidate's confidence, how prepared they are, and how they really handle pressure. So, if the old way is broken and the real secret is hiding in all these unspoken cues, what's the solution? How do you actually learn to do this and do it well? Let's take a look at the definitive way forward. And that is exactly why we created Mastering the Interview. This isn't just about theory. It's a program designed from the ground up to give you practical, advanced skills for today's hiring challenges. It's about turning you into a much more effective and much more confident interviewer. So think of this program as your brand new interview playbook. We're going to break down precisely what you'll master, giving you a powerful, structured framework that will totally transform how you walk into every single interview from now on. We've laid this all out in a structured 2-day journey. On day 1, we're building the foundation. We'll get into modern questioning techniques, the art of active listening, and of course, how to decode all those nonverbal cues. Then, day 2, that's when we kick it up a notch into advanced strategy. We'll tackle complex topics like mitigating bias, truly assessing cultural fit, and making confident, legally sound hiring decisions. So you might be wondering, who is this actually for? Well, it's simple. If you are involved in the hiring process in any way, whether you're a first-time supervisor or a senior executive, these skills are absolutely essential for building the strong, effective teams that really drive success. And I want to be really clear about something. This is not a boring lecture. It's a hands-on, interactive experience. We're going to be using case studies, role-playing, practical exercises, all of it. We do this to make sure you don't just learn these skills in theory, you learn how to actually apply them in the real world. So what's the ultimate outcome of all this? This is about way more than just learning a few new interview questions. This is about a fundamental transformation in your ability to identify and hire the absolute best people for your team. Here's what that transformation looks like. First, you'll adapt to what actually works now, not 10 years ago. Then you'll learn to accurately interpret all those nonverbal cues that everybody else is missing. You'll get the tools to mitigate the unconscious biases that can cloud anyone's judgment. And all of that leads to the final crucial step, making informed, confident hiring decisions every single time. And the end game here? Well, it's a pretty simple and powerful chain reaction. Better skills lead to better decisions. better decisions lead to a much higher quality of hire. And a higher quality of hire? Well, that leads to a stronger, more successful organization. That's the bottom line. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Are you ready to move past the old, outdated methods? Are you ready to stop just interviewing candidates and start uncovering the top talent that is going to drive your organization forward?